What was supposed to be a routine concert finale unexpectedly turned into one of the most talked about moments in recent entertainment discussions. When the lights dimmed and the applause thundered through the venue, Tian Xuning and Ziyu stood side by side on stage, thanking fans for an unforgettable night. No one anticipated that, seconds later, a spontaneous gesture would ignite massive conversation across social media platforms. Tian Xuning suddenly stepped forward and wrapped Ziyu in a warm embrace, an unscripted moment that instantly went viral. From the very first clips circulating online, fans were quick to notice the authenticity of the interaction. There were no dramatic cues, no staged camera angles, and no obvious signs of choreography. Instead, the hug appeared natural, almost instinctive, catching even Ziyu slightly off guard. Her brief pause, followed by a gentle response, only strengthened fans' belief that this was not part of any planned scenario. Within minutes of the concert's conclusion, keywords related to Tian Xuning and Ziyu surged to the top of trending lists. Short video clips, fan-captured photos, and slowed-down replays flooded timelines. Comments poured in by the thousands, with fans dissecting every detail from Tian Xuning's expression to Ziyu's subtle smile afterward. Many viewers emphasized how genuine the moment felt, noting that it lacked the polished perfection typical of scripted fan service moments. Observers also pointed out the atmosphere in the venue at that precise second. According to multiple fan accounts, the crowd fell into a brief stunned silence before erupting into cheers. That reaction alone became a topic of discussion, as it reflected collective surprise rather than rehearsed anticipation. Several attendees later shared that even staff members backstage appeared momentarily frozen, suggesting the hug truly came without warning. The discussion soon expanded beyond the hug itself. Fans began revisiting past interactions between Tian Xuning and Ziyu, compiling montages of subtle glances, shared laughter, and supportive gestures from previous performances and public appearances. While none of those moments had ever drawn this level of attention individually, the post-concert hug suddenly reframed them, giving rise to countless theories and interpretations. Entertainment commentators were quick to weigh in as well. Some praised the moment as a refreshing reminder that genuine human connection still shines through in an industry often criticized for being overly manufactured. Others urged caution, reminding fans not to jump to conclusions or impose narratives on artists based on a single emotional moment. Still, even the more reserved voices acknowledged the hug's impact and the reason it resonated so strongly with audiences. One factor fueling the discussion is Tian Xuning's reputation for professionalism and restraint. Known for maintaining clear boundaries on stage, his decision to initiate such a personal gesture stood out sharply against his usual demeanor. Fans who have followed his career closely remarked that this was one of the rare times he openly displayed such warmth in a public setting. That contrast made the hug feel even more significant. Ziyu, on the other hand, has long been admired for her calm elegance and emotional composure. Her reaction, neither exaggerated nor withdrawn, struck many as sincere and respectful. Rather than turning the moment into a spectacle, she allowed it to exist briefly and naturally, which many fans interpreted as quiet confirmation that the gesture was heartfelt. As the debate intensified, a clear consensus began to form around one key point: this was not a scenario designed to stir controversy or generate headlines. The lack of prior hints, the spontaneous body language, and the unfiltered crowd reaction all pointed toward authenticity. "You can't script that kind of silence before the cheers," one fan wrote, a sentiment echoed across platforms. Of course, with virality comes speculation. Some fans wondered whether the hug signaled a deeper personal bond, while others framed it as a moment of shared relief and gratitude after a demanding performance. Both interpretations continued to coexist, fueling ongoing engagement rather than settling the conversation. Interestingly, the hug also sparked broader discussion about boundaries, emotions, and realism in live performances. Many fans expressed appreciation for seeing artists allow themselves to be human on stage, even if only for a few seconds. In an era where every move is scrutinized and often pre-planned, such moments feel rare and therefore powerful. Days after the concert, the moment remains a hot topic. Fan art, thoughtful essays, and emotional reactions continue to appear, each adding another layer to the story. Yet despite all the analysis, one thing remains unchanged: the hug itself was brief, quiet, and undeniably real. Whether it will have any lasting impact on Tian Xuning and Ziyu's professional relationship remains to be seen. What is certain, however, is that this single unscripted gesture succeeded in doing what countless staged moments failed to achieve. It made people feel something genuine. And in the fast-moving world of entertainment, that authenticity is often what resonates the longest. In the end, perhaps the reason this moment became such a phenomenon is simple. It reminded audiences that behind the lights, the choreography, and the expectations, artists are still human. And sometimes, a single spontaneous hug is enough to stop an entire venue and the internet in its tracks. The ripple effect of that brief embrace did not fade as quickly as many expected. Instead, it continued to grow, evolving into a broader cultural moment that extended well beyond the original concert footage. Fan communities across different platforms began organizing discussion threads, some running thousands of comments long, analyzing why this single gesture felt so impactful compared to countless other interactions seen on stage over the years. A recurring theme in these discussions was emotional timing. The hug happened at the very end of the concert, after hours of intense performance, physical exhaustion, and emotional release. Many fans believe this context matters deeply. The end of a concert is often when performers finally allow their guard to drop. There are no more cues to follow, no more songs to perfect, only raw relief and gratitude remain. In that moment, Tian Xuning's decision to reach out to Ziyu felt instinctive rather than calculated. Several industry insiders, speaking anonymously on entertainment forums, echoed this view. They explained that while concerts are meticulously planned down to the second, the final moments are often left more flexible to accommodate natural interaction. Even so, an embrace of this nature is rarely encouraged unless there is a strong emotional reason behind it. This insight further reinforced fans' belief that the moment was driven by genuine feeling rather than strategy.